Pocket Pair does not seem altogether too concerned with the criticism they're receiving online over their game Palworld, with their communications director and publishing manager, John Bucky Buckley, going so far as to say it doesn't actually have any impact on the game or community, and I am inclined to agree. Now, I'm inclined to agree partially because I'm a fan of Palworld, and I've seen a lot of support in my own personal comments for Palworld and against Nintendo, but also because a lot of what's happening with these people that are speaking out against Palworld is kind of similar to what happened when Pirate Software spoke out against Stop Killing Games. All it is giving more attention to Palworld. Palworld in and of itself might not have been as popular of a game if it weren't for a lot of people, sometimes positively, sometimes negatively, comparing it to Pokemon and saying that it is Pokemon with guns, despite the fact that they're completely separate genres of gaming. And like to say that it's exactly the same is incredibly, like, you have to be reaching really hard, in my opinion at least. But because of all that hate, essentially all the hate that they started receiving started making more and more people aware of the game. So if anything, the hate is helping. So good job, guys. Good job, all you shit talkers out there that want to whine about Palworld. But he goes far. He explains in this article I'm reading, which was a few days ago. Oh, it was yesterday. It was exactly yesterday. He goes forward to explain that, we still have a really good 24-hour peak. At the time, the 24-hour peak was 45,189 players. The all-time record being over 2 million players, 95% positive on Steam, 94% positive if you're only counting the recent stuff. So I went ahead and I checked that. I checked that data, and right now, according to Steam charts, Palworld is sitting at 30,799 current players that are online at this moment. That is putting it at number 46 in the ranking, which might seem like a low number, but a lot of the stuff that's above it is really popular games. What it is above is Hades 2, RimWorld. Let's look at some of these other popular games. Payday 2, I guess that's still a popular one. Hogwarts Legacy, Total War Warhammer, 7 Days to Die, Project Zomboid, Borderlands 4. Palworld is sitting above Borderlands 4 by at almost 20 points. Or more than 20. Hold on, did I do that math right? That's number 63. I went backwards. I went the wrong way. Yeah, almost 20. It's at number 46. Borderlands 4 is at 63. So almost 20 points ahead of it for a game that was highly anticipated and just recently came out. Palworld isn't even out of early access yet. It came out in 2024, in January of 2024, and it is between major updates. There's an update coming out in 2 days, which to me actually means there's probably going to be less people playing it, because at least the way I kind of play it is if I know there's a major update for a game, I don't start playing it a few days before the major update. I play it during the major update. So at the very least, the metrics here are showing that Palworld still has a lot of an active player base. It still has a lot of people wanting to play, despite all the hate that is coming out about it, and despite the fact that there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's a bad game," and oh, it's such a horrible game. And a lot of those people are either going out of their way to hate it and going out of their way to find problems with it, or they saw it was being compared to Pokemon and said, I want to play a different version of Pokemon, and then saw that it was a completely separate type of game than Pokemon, a completely separate genre of game than Pokemon, a completely separate gameplay loop than Pokemon, and then got mad that it wasn't Pokemon, but still want to compare it to Pokemon and say it's just a bad version of Pokemon, or some shit like that. And then the people that are just the hardcore Nintendo stans are going to be talking a lot of crap about it, because how dare someone come out and defy, Daddy Nintendo. But the other one, and this is something that, John Buckley here talks about, and something that I agree with a lot, and I think he's 100% on point with, is he says here in his Twitter post, "My life is Palworld 24/7, and I promise you only ever see people ranting about it on Twitter and Blue Sky. It's an easy 500k views, which is why it'll always be topical to whinge about it." And I think that's a lot of what it is. You can look at my channel. My most popular videos are about Palworld and about Nintendo and the Palworld lawsuit. So there's people that are going on the other side, and despite the fact that they may have never played Palworld, or they may have never, or they may not actually have these negative opinions about Palworld, they are finding it a good source of content to bash on Palworld. Because here's the little trick. Here's a little trick for all you up-and-coming content creators, and I'm an up-and-coming content creator. I'm not that big at all. But all you up-and-coming content creators, rage bait works, because when you go onto a video or a short or a reel or a Twitter post or anything, and you decide to start telling the person how wrong they are, the social media site, whichever one it is, YouTube in this case, doesn't recognize that that is a negative comment and people don't like it. It just sees more engagement and it drives it. So say I'm a big anime fan and I like Naruto. Say I were to make a video about Naruto and say something ridiculous like, I don't know, Sasuke is more powerful than Rock Lee. Everyone knows that Rock Lee is the most powerful ninja in all of Naruto. You're going to get a lot of people that are going to be commenting on that video saying, no, Sasuke is way more powerful than, or Rock Lee's way more powerful than Sasuke. Rock Lee's going to kick Sasuke's ass. Sasuke is just a little beta bitch. Sasuke couldn't beat Sakura. You're going to get a lot of people saying that because it's true. It's correct. Sasuke is a little bitch, but it just drives engagement. More people are commenting now. More people are giving engagement to that video, causing that video to go further, which means Palworld has become an easy lolcow for some people because now I don't even call it lolcow, but it's become an easy target for some people that want to make hate comment because they know all the people that are in defense of Palworld are going to, make their angry comments and engage with that video, and that's going to drive more engagement. And a little bit of proof in the pudding there, I want you to check right now. It's been about roughly a minute since I made the comment about Sasuke being more powerful than Rock Lee. Check the comments and see how many comments there are about people getting really, really, really mad at me for saying that. It drove engagement. It's a trick. It's a gambit. What this does show me, one of the points of this video, what I was kind of getting at, I was getting at that point of, yes, it's become an easy thing to drive content creation, and I'd be a hypocrite to say that I'm not doing it a little bit because I look for Palworld news. When we're looking for a video, one of our topic to do a video on, a lot of times we're looking, is there anything going on with the Palworld Nintendo stuff first, because that is the content that drives my channel the most. We're branching out, we're trying to talk about other stuff, we're trying to talk about other games and other gaming news and other just general internet happenings and news and stuff that's going on, but Palworld is the bread and butter of this channel right now. We don't want it to be the only thing that we talk about, but it is bread and butter, so that's something we look for. So these same people are doing similar tactics to rage bait people into engaging with them so that they can get more views. So one, don't fall for the rage bait, and two, don't necessarily believe the fact that you get some videos that have a lot of views and are doing really popular saying how much this thing sucks, whether it's Palworld or not, how much this thing sucks and this is really bad, and that's the topic of the video. That video doing well does not necessarily mean that video is doing well because people agree with it. But just the metrics alone show that Palworld's not afraid, Pocket Pair's not afraid. They're not worried about this. They're having to deal with the lawsuit and they're having to deal with the hate, but that hate is driving people to Pocket Pair. Also, look at some of my comments and see, or driving people to Palworld. Look at some of my comments and see how many people have commented that one of the reasons they discovered Palworld or one of the reasons they bought Palworld was because of the drama, was because people were talking crap about it, and that's how they found out Palworld existed in the first place. One of the reasons I found out Palworld existed, one, someone came into my stream and was talking about it, but the first thing I ever heard about it was from people bashing it and saying it was bad, and that drove me to buy Palworld, and now I have Palworld, and I enjoy Palworld, and I make a lot of content about Palworld. This is just another sign of something that is kind of indicative or kind of indicating like how confident Pocket Pair is with this, it seems, is the fact that, one, they're willing to come out and say, yeah, we're not worried about this. I realize we're getting hate, but also just look at all the stuff that they're doing, the collabs they're doing, the extra projects they're branching into, the fact that they're working, I talked about in a previous video, they're working with, not Calypso, that's Dungeons. Oh my God, Crafton. They're working with Crafton in the PUBG studios to make a mobile version of Palworld. That costs money. They're doing all these updates that are collabs with other games. That costs money. They are still investing a lot of money into the development of Palworld, despite the fact that this lawsuit's going on and despite the fact that they're getting all this hate. if they were truly worried that the game was failing and the game was going to crash, and mind you, it's in early access right now. It's not a finished game, and there's a lot of people that won't buy a game just because it's in early access. That is a major contributing probably to the fact that maybe it will, the moment it gets out of early access, it'll probably have a major spike. And when this new, I'm looking at this data right now, and I'll put out a community post in 2 days. The data right now is saying it's at, what was it? Hold on. Right now, at this moment, it is at 26,000 views, or 26,000 views, 26,517 players at this very moment. I'm interested in seeing what that spike is in 2 days, because the amount of active players tends to die down between major updates. That's most games. Pretty much every game is going to have, between major updates, there's going to be a spike, and then there's going to be a drop. So let's come back to this in 2 days and see how well it's doing in 2 days. But you would think that if they were concerned, and for all the people that are like, yeah, they're going to fail, they're losing, they know it, blah, 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 because I get those comments too. You would think that if they are concerned with how bad they are doing and thinking they were going to fail, they would settle with Nintendo and cut their losses and stop development of the game, because it's not worth it to throw money after a lost cause. But this isn't a lost cause, and they know it. And I think deep down in people's heart, like all these haters' heart, they know that it's not going to fail and it's not going to lose. I think they are very, very aware that what they are doing is defending a soulless mega corporation, because one, they're either just hardcore stans, two, they're just bitter, angry people, or three, there's someone that thinks it's funny to try to rage bait and shit like that. And if you think if you're the type of person that thinks, oh, rage baiting people, getting people mad online is funny, then I just genuinely feel bad for you, because one, you're a driving joy out of making someone that you don't know unhappy, and that's just a pathetic way to live your life. But two, how unhappy must you be to need to make other people upset just to feel something? I mean, seriously, I genuinely would feel bad for you if you weren't an awful person. And for the people that are just miserable and they want to hate because they see something that's successful and they want to hate it, get help, get therapy, seek out a therapist, get some help. It's not worth it to be that angry. Trust me, you don't want to be that unhappy. Just make your life a better place instead of one filled with hate, and maybe get offline and touch grass for a little bit. But either way, that's that for this video. I think I dragged this out a little bit too long because I thought I was going to say something else and I forgot it, but whatever. Hey, I'm sure I'm going to get comments about, oh, this video is way too long. I don't care. Engage with the video. It'll make the video do better. But with that, if you've made it this far, please subscribe, comment, hype the video. Every bit of engagement helps the video do better. If you want to leave a hate comment, go ahead and leave a hate comment. Don't care. Helps the video do better. And if you want to help me specifically in my fight against patent trolling and against some of the Nintendo lawsuits in general, check out my GoFundMe for helping to build a database to stop patent trolling, where it's going to be essentially an online, easily accessible, publicly available database of prior art that law firms and indie studios can use to see the prior art in any instance, to very easily see the prior art in any instance if they get a patent trolling lawsuit, if they get some sort of patent infringement lawsuit, for a lawsuit that shouldn't have, or for a patent that shouldn't have been granted in the first place, and will hopefully be a resource that the USPTO will start using to deny patents for video game mechanics that should not have existed in the first place. The link is going to be in the description and in the pinned comment. But if you want to help me on a more personal level, please click over there. That playlist over there is for my storytelling channel. We have stories on there about some of my worst bosses, some of my experiences in the military, the time that I got pepper sprayed, which was a pretty funny story to me, at least. I'm trying to get that channel, off the ground a little bit more. So if you go over there, if you subscribe to that channel and watch the videos, that would be incredibly helpful. But thank you. Have a nice day. Fuck Nintendo.